again.
It's quite sad. No, go on, keep going. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be the whole show.
This is going to be. We're going to have an hour of Jazz Odyssey on the Coffee Jelly Hour. Welcome to episode 33. Coffee Jelly Hour. Jazz Odyssey. With
Tony, I can barely hear you.
Oh, can you hear me? That's Ace drowning me out. That's Ace drowning me out with his unplugged bass.
No.
Anyway, welcome.
No, it's a sign.
You put your bass down now. I'm
gonna put the bass down just because that is a pet peeve for people. The unplugged instrument sound.
The rattly bass, yeah.
No, rattly bass. It's worse with guitars though. There's nothing worse than an unplugged guitar and you just hear somebody noodling, but you don't hear the noodle. You just hear that
unplugged electric guitar. Yeah.
Yeah, an unplugged electric guitar. It's a sad sound.
I'm really guilty of that, of actually picking the guitar up and not actually sort of plugging it in, and I start fucking about trying to get sort of ideas, and it just sounds awful, but it still gives me
I haven't played mine in so long. I need to start playing again.
Well, that's what you do tomorrow on your day off.
I guess so. Yeah, it's a good idea, actually.
Yeah, just do it. Just even if it's just 30 minutes. Just do it.
Just pick up your guitar, and you can't set your guitar down until you can play at least 2 albums by Megadeth.
Exactly.
Oh,
exactly.
Okay, there we go. That'll be all right then.
No, fuck it. Get it now. Get the guitar now. Do it now. We're gonna do it now. We're not gonna do it.
Oh, it's all the way upstairs. It's all the way up. I'd have to go up 2 flights of stairs, but.
No, it's fine. You don't have to.
We'll just do an entire unplugged episode.
We could do that, couldn't we?
I could get my acoustic, and it's got to be tuned, and it's just what a lot of work.
Yeah. Well, you might even have to restring it, so it's gonna be a lot of work. Hey, someone else died this week. It was the old Megadeth drummer. You just reminded me something about Megadeth, wasn't it? Thingy Mensa. Yeah. I don't even know his name. That's bad, that. How many fucking people, famous people, have died this year? This is terrible. Bad, isn't it? We're not going to go off on that rant.
Yeah, we're not going to go there.
Welcome to episode 33 of the Coffee Jelly Hour. I'm Tony Longworth. We have Ace Munns, and we have Matt, who's going to play guitar for us. No, he's not really. I'm taking the piss. So how are we all doing? Yeah. Guitar solo.
Make it up as I go.
Hashtag make Captain America kiss men.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
What? Explain why?
So, I don't know. Okay, I guess I'll explain what it is. There's a hashtag movement going around about wanting Captain America to be gay or something. And
it's hashtag give Captain America a boyfriend or something like that.
Yeah,
it's happy.
Hashtag make Mario kiss Wario. And
really?
What bothers me is, when did it go from being not politically correct from saying you hang out with this person all the time, you must be gay, to you hang out with this person all the time, you must be gay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why can't you just have a best friend that you're not gay with?
Well, why the fuck is Kevin Smith now the great voice of reason now with his with Jay and Silent Bob? This is my heterosexual life mate, Silent Bob.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm not. I hate it.
Hetero life partner.
I hate it because their heart is in the right place, so it's hard for me to be like, you guys are dumb. But this is just so stupid.
Well, yeah, I've kind of missed that completely. So there's a movement going on now.
Yeah, and it's more legitimate than it should be. I looked at it for a little bit, and I thought it was oh, this is probably a joke, right? And it was
that's what I thought it was.
It was people being really upset, well, if everybody thinks it's okay for him to just date his ex-girlfriend's niece, then why can't he be gay? I mean, it's not you're saying that it's okay for an old guy to date a niece? Whoa! And it's wait, what? Guys, calm down.
People are annoyed that he's not gay.
Yeah, that's there's people genuinely upset, and that's what's confusing to me.
Because they keep being well, how come he's not with Bucky? How come Bucky's not his boyfriend? It's okay, sure.
Wow. Has he shown any type of sort of gay or bisexual
Bucky's clearly super important to him, and that's where the whole foundation comes from. If a man is important to you, you are in love with him.
Right. Okay. I mean, all men,
Which
gay and
is
straight, do have men friends who they love.
But their wieners need to be involved.
Oh right, I see. Is that what I'm saying?
Everything is all groovy except for their wieners have to be involved. It literally is becoming this game of like
wieners and butts.
I want Marvel to just unflinchingly accept it, and just the next movie should be just a 2-hour-long sex scene.
Yeah, Captain America is going down on a guy.
That's the thing, like you were saying, Ace. So it's like, okay, all of a sudden, like, you know, when I was young, it was like, oh, you hang out with that guy a lot, you two must be gay. To now, it's like, oh, if men are close, they must be gay. Oh, it's so cute. It's like, no, we're just friends. Like, in what way is it not okay to have a friend without? I mean, either it's we're friends and we're gay and you think that's gross, or we're friends and we're gay and you think that's awesome. And it's like, no, we're not gay. We're just friends.
Yeah, we're just friends. We just like touching each other's penises. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's nothing, you know.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and besides, we already know if Captain America was gay, it'd be with Iron Man. We're just gonna throw that one out there. Like, come on, him and Bucky, purely platonic. Iron Man is where the hate fucking would come from.
Ooh, he'd be, Iron Man. Wow, is his penis sort of covered in iron? No, I don't know. Can you imagine that?
That's how he stays hard. Bump.
He could do a lot of damage, couldn't he? Though. Can you imagine that? So, what other superheroes should be gay then? You know,
well,
maybe
all of them. Let's just turn it into a big gay fuckfest.
What about the Hulk? Can you imagine that? He'd tear your fucking ass, wouldn't he?
I'm hashtag make Hulk transgender.
Penis. Oh right, okay.
No, quasi-gender.
Yeah, go on.
No, these people's hearts are in the right place. I feel bad. I'm not trying to get on a.
I know.
Social justice is bad, but there is this little element of like, why are you guys like fighting for this?
It's not the social justice. It's like the Tumblr,
the
social media. Like we feel this weird desire to ship people in fictional stories in these ways that aren't common, be it gay or interspecies or whatever. It's like you have sad lives.
I know.
You have sad lives.
Hashtag make John C. Reilly make out with Rocket Raccoon in Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Wow.
That's who I ship.
It's called interspecies erotica. Fuck off.
Can you imagine that? That's. Oh, who's doing the driving on that though? Because let me get that straight in my head.
Well, it ends up turning into tentacle porn with Groot, so.
Oh right. Groot, yeah. Oh, that'd be quite sexy, that wouldn't it? Really? No,
but yeah, you're right. It's not social justice as much because it's basically Tumblrinas. It's a lot of people.
Oh yeah. I mean, the thing is, sort of fiction does have to reflect our society to an extent. I understand that, but sometimes you watch stuff and you're like, oh shit, this is just so forced. You know, the writers have just sort of pandered to like, oh yeah, we need to include this type of character.
If they did cave, though, how weird that would be. Like if they legitimately went okay then, and just randomly the character was like.
So in a movie for no reason, he's like, I fancy today.
I have to say, as somebody who is a bitter writer, I would take that and I would change Captain America to a gay stereotype. Just all of a sudden, like, okay, guys, you wanted him to be gay. Now he's the gayest person on the planet. Deal with it, Captain America.
He's just super. Oh my God.
He's really, really effeminate with it as well.
Pink now, guys, and instead of a star on his shield, it's a flower. Oh my God.
Oh, instead of a star, it's actually sort of an anus, basically.
Well, we have actually.
It's even better.
Star.
It's not a star. It's a chocolate starfish.
Which is actually preferential.
We're writing this.
We're trying our hardest to. What we want to do is we want to downplay the American Association because nationalism might make people who aren't native to America feel bad.
So what would it be called? Not
Right.
Captain
We're,
America.
we're thinking of a name that's basically, it just says what it is. It's just going to be Captain Homo.
Captain. Or saying that, Captain, are we going to try to play the
Guys,
whole
what we're really
military
trying
thing
to
down?
say is we
Mr.
just want
Homo.
Richard Simmons to play Captain America.
But call him Mr. Homo, not Captain America.
Richard Simmons. Oh man, Richard Simmons. I was going for more. God, the guy from Mousetrap. Why did his name just escape me?
Oh.
Christ.
Oh, Nathan Lane.
Yeah, Nathan Lane is my go-to.
Oh, good. Yeah, that's also a good
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if we were
Yeah.
going far back, we'd go fucking. I almost said Paul Sheldon because I'm reading Misery. Templeton the Rat.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
Poland. Guys, I'm so glad you invited me back on this show. I gotta tell ya, I'm
He's
a little
back.
drunk right now. Did you know he was a raging anti-Semite?
Yeah, that's,
Really?
that's a
Oh.
thing. I
Yes,
love,
he did, apparently on Hollywood Squares, Paul Lynde would get really drunk at lunchtime and go, Jesus, you know, those fucking Jews. They're the reason I don't have a career. God damn it, I hate those fucking Jews. It's all their fault.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, you
It's a
gotta
shame
love
he never
that.
got to
movie.
play Hitler in the motion picture of Hitler's life. That would have been perfect.
That would have been watchable, that wouldn't it? Highly watchable. I would have loved that. Yeah, fucking hell. I'd watch it. Definitely.
But now that we pretty much established that we love Nazis and hate gays, I'm glad that we got that out of the way. But
Yeah, it's out there now, isn't it?
But realistically, doubling back, it's their heart really is in the right place. It's just
Yeah.
Mark Hamill had the most brilliant thing ever, where he basically said Luke Skywalker is whatever sexuality you want him to be, because that's
It's
not
not
what the
exactly-
story is about.
Exactly.
In no way is it have any
Yeah.
does it pertain to that. Luke Skywalker is basically the avatar with which the viewer enjoys the movie.
Exactly. I think most films I watch and books I read, it doesn't really matter the sort of sexuality or
Well, 50 Shades
anything.
of Grey, maybe it would change a little bit, but if it's not an explicitly sexual story, it doesn't necessarily matter what the romance is.
It's
Oh,
true.
what the
I mean,
fuck?
I think most of the movies I watch, as soon as like the love interest appears, you kind of like, it's kind of a little bit forced. This, I'm not really interested. Carry on with the chopping off of heads and stuff like that.
Well, maybe the new Peter Parker might be gay. Have they introduced Mary Jane yet?
No, but there is a Zendaya is in the cast. She was a Disney kid once upon a time, and people are thinking she's probably Mary Jane or Gwen Stacy, one or the other.
I'm thinking she might just be the new fucking Aunt May. Like, they're already going to replace this one with the next model.
No, we can't replace her.
We
She's
need
too
new
pretty.
Aunt Mays.
Yes.
Where's my hashtag make Aunt May gay?
Ooh, there we go. Well,
We could
except
replace Uncle Ben. No, well, like, she basically was
we could
living a dual
replace
life.
Uncle Ben with Aunt B.
B. Arthur, maybe?
Oh yeah,
We just have a CG B. Arthur.
totally.
Did Tony die?
Yes, I think it's just you and me right now.
Yeah, apparently Tony died. When I said B. Arthur, I was half expecting,
Tony, come back, Tony. We miss you.
we need your commentary on the Golden Girls, Tony. It's your favorite show. I fucking
Hey,
love
don't
the
pick
Golden
on the
Girls.
Golden Girls. It's awesome.
Yeah, I genuinely love the Golden Girls. Two shows that I
As
don't...
do I.
I genuinely enjoy, not even ironically, is the Golden Girls and Married with Children.
See, Married with Children I don't enjoy as much, but I do unironically love the Golden Girls. It's pretty fucking funny.
It's hard to say unironic with the Married with Children because I sort of get the cynicism of the writers, and that's why I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Like, you could see them literally fucking with tropes and just
Yeah.
kind of like, whatever. And that's why when I rewatched Married with Children, I'm like, I really like this. It's just this big, nasty fuck you to the sitcoms of the 70s and the 80s.
My problem with that show mainly was that Al didn't want anything to do with his wife because what is her name? Her real name is Kate.
Katie Seagal.
I mean, Katie Seagal is a good-looking woman, and when she's all like, "Al, let's, go upstairs and fuck," and he's like, "No, I'd rather sit here and like drink beer." It's like, Al, for shame.
Yeah, I admit that is a going complaint because Katie Seagal is certainly not the disgusting individual, but I think it favors the joke as far as timeline wise, because if you imagine if they had like the one motherfucker from the Drew Carey show play his wife, and then it would just be it would just be this long going fat joke, and then we'd look back at that show and be like ashamed, like, oh, so Al just constantly berated his wife for being fat. No, his wife was genuinely an attractive woman, so it wasn't like it wasn't. They were just horrible people who hated everything in themselves.
Well, and that was it. Oh, Tony, I just got a message from Tony. He says he can't seem to reconnect. Carry on without him for now.
Oh, okay, we'll keep going.
Well,
Hashtag
that was one of the
Al
things.
Bundy gay.
Yes. Well, and that was one of the things is like going way back in time where you would watch like, oh man, this is a really old show, but like The Honeymooners, where Ralph would always threaten to hit his wife, and it's like, that he never even intends to hit his wife because he knows that she is like the boss of him, and the only way he can figure out how to express that he's, frustrated that his wife is the boss of him is to say, bang, zoom to the moon. Ace, are you gone now too?
No, I'm still here. I was still here. I was trying to see if I could fix it. But
I was like, oh no, I'm the only one left.
Clearly, The Honeymooners is nothing more than a ripoff of the Flintstones.
No, it's the other way around.
No, obviously, they ripped off the Flintstones. I choose to believe that the Flintstones came
Of course.
first. And I'd like to say right now that I am starting the hashtag Make Fred Flintstone in Relationship with Barney Rubble campaign. I mean, obviously, two straight men wouldn't spend that much time together.
Hey, Barney. Hey, Barney. Why don't you come over here and suck my dick?
I don't like this game, Scooby. We're fucking up our cartridge.
No,
you did Yogi, and I tried to do.
I just did Yogi. You're right. Yeah, I did Yogi when I was thinking about the.
But then I called you Scooby. This is. I am fucking delirious, and you just did Dr. Hibbert, so.
Well, because Yogi is actually kind of like Barney Rubble, actually. They kind of have the same thing going on with the, hey, talking like this.
Yeah, and Fred Flintstone is a bit more... No, I can't do
That's
Fred.
right.
Yeah, he's a bit more gruff. Like, hey, Bon! What are you doing, Bon?
I haven't watched any Flintstones in so long.
Sitting out in my backyard, not doing anything. Okay, Bon, I'm gonna go fuck your wife. Oh, Fred, you better give her a good one.
The Flintstones had key parties. Come on now.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure that they just belligerently beat the shit out of their wives and then just take turns gang fucking them.
Well, of course, they were cavemen.
Yeah, like that's how they go. Like everything was either food or something with which to plunge one's penis into. God, I'm hoping Tony comes back amidst this conversation.
I am listening. Can you hear me?
Oh, he is back. Hooray!
I've been back for a while, actually, but you were like in full flow, and I'm like, yeah, I'll just let you go. I'm enjoying it.
I'd like to see somebody draw the Flintstones as like actual Neanderthal type people rather than modern looking people.
I was actually masturbating while you were talking about it, so I was quiet.
Of course you were.
Yeah,
No, the opposite of your wish was granted in the late 80s with the Flintstones kids. and they tried to create a hip Flintstones like, hey, Bon, I'm a little kid. I'm gonna ride my skateboard.
Oh, jeez.
Well, they did the same thing once upon a time with like a pup named Scooby-Doo.
Oh God, that show was awful.
Oh, fucking hell. That sounds awful.
It had so many 80s tropes in it. It is such a dated show. It had everything. Not to say the original Scooby-Doo is a fresh spring, but like there is something endearing about those 1970s, 60s designs. But the pup named Scooby-Doo decides to go for this like 1980s aesthetic, and it has the Oh god damn. And it just didn't have enough gay relationships for me. I'm sorry, but hashtag make a pup named Scooby-Doo gay, because obviously a dog
gay.
wouldn't spend that much time with a boy unless they were fucking.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, obviously there's some interspecies erotica going on there.
Yeah. Yeah, and while we're
You
at
know
it,
what? The sad thing is, everything we keep saying, let's make these people gay, if we just hopped on fanfiction.net, we would find it.
It's all there.
I'm certain that, hey, Scoob, like, your eyes totally look like the moon, man! Like, when I gaze deep in them, I could see, like, the spiral of my soul!
Like, Scoob, this is some seriously good weed, man. Let's, like, go in the back and fuck, because your dick kind of looks like lipstick, so I'm gonna rub it on me.
But first you must kill them all the non-believers. That's my Scooby-Doo.
I was going to say,
The wonderful thing about Scooby-Doo is it taught you there are no real monsters, just men in masks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, dodgy men in masks, basically. Yeah, I'm just looking for Scooby-Doo fanfiction. There is one rated M, Scooby-Dooby-Doo-Doo. So I wonder what that's like.
I got some Shizak going on.
That's what it sounds like.
Daddy Doo-Doo, maybe? You know, Scooby had a fucking retarded cousin.
Yes, called Dummy Doo.
I can't say retarded. What's a better word for retarded? He had a...
Intellectually challenged.
I think the PC word is spastic. No, it's not.
Only for you that's not PC. Everywhere else, spastic is a cute word, and then in the UK, it's like, oh!
You can't say spastic. You know.
Did you just say bloody and spastic?
Yeah. Because kind of spastic means physically disabled person, really. And there used to be, there used to be a fucking charity shop called the Spastic Society, or the Spastics, until every kid in school started calling each other a spastic or a spaz, and now they've actually changed the name of that charity to Scope. So you're a fucking scope now. So I'm trying to like popularise that as an insult now. Now that I've popularised spastic.
Well, you cunts over there in the UK seem to say cunt a whole lot more than we here in America. We here in America seem to fear cunt.
Is that the whole sort of
speaking of cunt, that's actually Scooby's other cousin, Cunty Doo. There's Dummy Doo, and then there's Cunty Doo, and then there's fucking Shaggy Doo, and I think there's a female Scooby that appears at some point.
Really?
I swear that
there's Mommy Doo and Daddy Doo, and there's Scrappy Doo and Dummy Doo, and Scrappy Doo, one of the most annoying cartoon characters ever.
Yeah.
I believe he was a white Great Dane, and he was like a hick. And theoretically,
I thought you were going to say a white supremacist. Yeah, I can't even.
Oh, hey there, Scoob! I think we should burn all the mudbloods. I don't know about that Daphne woman. She looks like she's a Jew.
Should we burn all those black and brown dogs? Let's just do it. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, fucking terrible.
Anyway. That's your problem, Scooby. You're covered in shame. Those spots on you, they're not black. We call that shame spots. Also, we call it tar. What a lovable character. No wonder he didn't make it into the wacky races.
So cute. So cute.
Wacky races. Oh, man.
I used to love that. Oh, that was... It looks really shit.
They actually wanted to bring it back as an edgy 2000s cartoon. I was reading about it. It was going to be like their grandchildren or their children, and they were all going to be like super edgy and awesome, and it was... There
are now comics where there's one called Scooby Apocalypse that's a post-apocalyptic Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, didn't they make Velma didn't they make Velma like 11 in that?
She looks like a hobbit, kind of. Oh, and I haven't read it. My best friend just read it today and said it was horrible.
Oh. Surprise!
They also did a Wacky Racers, like, I'm pretty sure the Wacky Racers comics is like Mad Max style.
It should be like Death Race.
Wow. Oh, that'd be great.
And here comes Dudley too, right? He just mauled through a school.
Oh yeah, how many points is that? So that's 200 kids. Let's have a look. Yay!
That puts Dudley Do-Right in the lead, but beware for that Dick Dastardly. He has something evil up his sleeve.
Dick Dastardly.
It is Dastardly Dick.
Dick Dastardly is definitely a porn name, isn't it, really? Looking back at all that shit. There was a kids' TV program in this country back in, I think it was the 70s, called Captain Pugwash, about a pirate. And do you know about this? I don't know if you've seen any of this. And there was a character in it called Roger, and he was the cabin boy. So he was called Roger the Cabin Boy. So as in fucking the cabin boy, Roger, to fuck. So, and it kind of went above everybody's head, and no one really knew. Because, I mean, most of the stuff in this country, the kids' stuff, 70s, were written by sort of old hippies who were just stoned out of their mind, basically. And, yeah, we've got a whole load of weird kids' programs from the 70s.
I don't think that was uniquely I don't think that was a uniquely UK thing. I think that was kind of everything in the 70s.
The Peg Boy lives on.
What was that?
What was what?
What was that? What did you say? Sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
I said the legend of the Peg Boy lives on.
Oh, right.
Yeah, the ships would have a boy that would just sit on a peg so his asshole would be loose, so they would have something to do on the boat on long sea voyages.
When they got really bored, yeah.
Yep.
Yar! You think it would be easier to just bring a girl along?
Yeah. But we don't see girls.
We don't want her to be bleeding all over the place. It attracts the sharks. Yar!
It's considered bad luck to have a woman on the ship. Heaven forbid there actually be, someone
more
of the
importantly,
weaker sex.
it can attract bears. Menstruation is known to attract bears. You don't want those sea bears to come and attack us, Yar.
Dangerous, those sea bears. Very dangerous, aren't they, really?
More importantly, we're following an important hashtag. Yar, keep the Peg Boy gay.
Keep Roger the Cabin Boy gay. Yes, definitely. Oh yeah, well, that's fine. That's cool.
Because we wanted to reboot him into a straight character, so.
Wow, that's going to upset so many people.
Yeah,
no longer is it called Roger the Cabin Boy.
All of our gay actors.
Yeah. Turn them all straight. Neil Patrick Harris. Neil Patrick Harris in Harold and Kumar. Fucking best character ever. Fucking love him in those movies. Have you seen the Christmas one?
I think I've only seen one.
Oh shit!
I've only seen one. Harold
Neil Patrick Harris playing a horrible fucking druggy sort of hetero version of himself, and in the Christmas Harold and Kumar, it turns out that he employs an actor who pretends to be his boyfriend for the press because the fucking press love him being gay. And there's a scene where he's in front of like sort of cameras and he's kissing his boyfriend, and then they go into the changing room and like and he's like spitting, going, "That was gross. You use your tongue, you faggot. Oh Jesus Christ!" And it just turns out he's just like Neil Patrick Harris is just like a complete meth head, and it's well worth watching just for him. He's fucking wonderful, really. So he's great. NPH, yeah.
He's a national treasure.
He is. He is wonderful.
He was
really.
Doogie Howser.
Yeah, that's where he came from.
And more importantly, he was in fucking Starship Troopers. Literally the only role that matters to me.
Yeah. Have you read his autobiography or choose your own autobiography?
I'm aware of it. I'm just not that big of an
fucking hell! But you know what? It's fucking worth reading it because it's literally you read the first chapter and it's like if you want Neil to have a really difficult upbringing, turn to page 7. If you want to have a really easy upbringing, turn to page 10. It is a choose your own adventure autobiography. It's amazing. But you've got to read it more than once and choose different things. It's just fucking hilarious. There's Penn Jillette's in it. There's loads of like famous people writing sections of it.
Penn takes credit for the fact that Neil is gay.
Yeah, it made him gay. It was either we'll stay in tonight and we'll either watch the Three Stooges or we'll listen to musical.
What is the name of that? Assassins or something like.
Spy thingy. Yeah, I'll find.
I want to say it's called Assassins, but
it is.
Yeah.
You're right. It is. It is. I'll find it now. Assassins musical by Stephen Sondheim. Stephen Sondheim. Assassins the musical.
Keeping on musicals. Really fast. A bit of sad
Keeping on
news.
gays. Oh, go on, sorry.
Well, actually, kind of. A bit of sad news.
Oh.
I found out Richard O'Brien wants nothing to do with the Rocky Horror remake, and that makes me
Really?
Yeah, and
Really?
Fox pretty much did it not only without his permission, but he's not even getting a dime out of it. I'm like, that's kind of depressing.
That is really, really shit, isn't it? That's
because obviously Richard wrote it and played for originally.
Good news. Richard O'Brien is actually coming back with a new series of Crystal Maze, which is like a quiz type adventure series thing. Have you ever seen Crystal Maze?
Oh yeah, I did. It's astounding.
Yeah. It's I don't even know how to describe it. So
time is fleeting.
UK's favourite television shows. Hold on. Yeah, what the fuck is it? There's loads of like puzzles they had to solve and stuff like that. And they had to go into the crystal maze and
madness takes its toll.
Crystals and yeah. True. Yeah. But anyway, there's a new series coming back with him in it, I believe. So that's that's pretty good. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it just proves it. It is a world of laughter.
But not for very much longer.
No. Exactly. Yeah.
I've got to keep control.
Talking of music.
I was bummed out about that. That's all.
Yeah.
It made me sad. I've been trying to play because I don't want to be one of one of the reasons why Gumball is like my favorite cartoon is because I don't like being the old guy in the room. I don't like when somebody goes, "Old music was better. I only like when Metallica had hair and anything else is stupid."
Yeah.
I always like to try to give everything the benefit of the doubt, and the Rock Door thing I've been trying. And when I read that, I was like, "Oh, that kind of bums me out." That he's like, I have no comment. I want nothing to do with that project. And I'm like, that's kind of damning.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it? Yeah, that's kind of like.
But it might just be him being a crotchety old guy because he is like fucking 170.
Is he ill or something, or am I just made it on? Yeah, is he got some type of illness?
I don't know. He's got the illness of being Richard O'Brien and being like 170. Like, isn't that itself kind of like?
There are lots of crotchety old guys getting asked about, like, anytime they ask Frank Miller about something being made out of his work, he's like, "Oh, fuck that! That's not the way it's going."
It's shit. Yeah, I know.
It sucks. Get it out of my face. It should always be my way.
Yeah, it should always be on paper. It should. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. Yeah.
Or Alan.
Or who?
Alan Moore, the
Didn't he completely sort of wash his hands of Watchmen?
Yeah, constantly, and he berates the stuff. He is just. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, I love the graphic novel, but I do like the movie as well. I really like the movie. But,
you want to know a movie that is actually better than the source material, at least in my personal opinion?
Go on.
The other week I read Misery, and I realized that I liked the movie a ton more than the book. The book is not very great.
Really?
It's okay. It's not a bad book. And I really like Misery, or not Misery. Annie Wilkes is a much more sympathetic character in the movie. In the book, she's almost just
yeah. I kind of she's more of a monster in the book.
Yeah,
Stephen King kind of went through a period though where like he wrote books about people trapped in very small places. Like he wrote Misery where he's trapped in the house, strapped to the bed. He wrote Gerald's Game where the lady is handcuffed to the bed.
Is this him as a writer being trapped in his home?
And then he wrote Cujo where they're trapped in the car.
Yeah, the car, the dog. Yeah,
I wasn't really of those three books, I would say Misery was probably my favorite. Like, I didn't enjoy Cujo that much, and I didn't enjoy Gerald's Game that much.
No.
Even though Gerald's Game had a scene that made me incredibly uncomfortable when she actually finally escapes from the handcuffs.
Oh, really? Well, I haven't seen it.
She does it by breaking a glass.
And Jesus.
Breaking her thumb and slitting the skin off her hand so she can have enough blood and enough slippage so she can get out of hand. It's
Very
awful.
lubricant. That
It's
sounds
so awful.
horrible.
And I don't cringe at violence much, but just the way he wrote it, I was like, this is horrible.
That does sound horrible. So listen, this is the Coffee Jelly Hour, the #1 Stephen King podcast. I know we're number 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say, take a
No,
drink.
no,
We talked about.
No, I know Stephen King. Yeah.
Well, I couldn't help myself. It was like on the tip of my
No.
tongue because, like, I like Misery, but as I'm getting through it, I just keep being reminded, like, this character is a fucking cunt. There is nothing. And one of the things he's doing that's really clever is he kind of sets it in reverse, and Stockholm Syndrome kind of takes in, and you start to see a little bit more of her, but you never fully buy it. You never really. The whole time, she's almost like right from the get-go. She's like, drink your piss.
Yeah, she's just an absolute fucking monster, and there's no way you can. Yes, you're like, what?
Yeah, I don't know why. It might. It's also
I know what you mean.
Perhaps the strength of Kathy Bates. I believe she's a wonderful actress or actor.
Oh yeah, she's scary as hell in that as well.
Yeah, and she really sells all the emotions on that. So maybe it's. I've obviously seen the film before I read the book, so maybe that just created an impossible.
Yeah, to be fair, I read the book first and then watched the movie, and I enjoyed the book. But yeah, I really did enjoy the movie. It's a great movie. It's really, really good. I watched a couple more episodes of 11/22/63. This week as well. Yeah, I think I'm only about 3 or 4 episodes in, but yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's really good. But I can't help. I'm thinking, how old Stephen King was he in high school in the '60s? Because is this like a sort of homage to him? High school.
Yeah, I believe he was.
Because I haven't read.
He's about 170 now.
No, but in the '60s, he probably was about 40, and he probably was hanging around high schools in a creepy way, wasn't he? Really? So he probably.
That's all I do now. I don't know about you guys.
I agree.
You want to read my new novel? It's a really scary one. That's how he talks. I was listening to the commentary of the Shining TV series, and it makes me laugh because Stephen King sounds like a dad. He's like, he has the most dad, and it's just like he says those stupid. He's like, well, I really like that movie, The Green Mile, but the problem is it's a real fanny buster. And it's just like, who the fuck's in a fanny buster?
Wow.
He reads like the author's notes on his audiobooks. It's so fun. He read the entire audiobook of Wind Through the Keyhole, and it's really weird.
Yeah, I also heard that he did parts
He's 68, so yeah, he would have been a high schooler in the 60s because he was born in 1947.
I'm guessing the TV series is similar to the book, as in there's a lot of sort of high school sort of scenes and stuff like that, and with the TV series they bring all these sort of like 60s sort of doo-wop type music, and I'm thinking, this is sort of Stephen King in high school. I'm digging it. I'm liking it. I'm liking the whole vibe of it, and it is fun. It is kind of fun, and I like the whole historical JFK stuff going on. So yeah, I'm enjoying that. This is it's good. It's rather good. Yes. So there, Stephen King. Take a drink. Have I mentioned Frank Zappa this week? I don't think.
There it is. Right
take a drink. Take a drink. Oh shit! Yeah. I have got something to tell Ace. There was what's his name? Bill S. Preston, Alex Winter. There was a quote that came out from David Bowie. I don't know how to pronounce it. David Bowie actually stole one of Frank Zappa's guitarists. Ace, did you know that?
Really? That wouldn't surprise me.
Adrian Belew. He played in King Crimson and different bands. He was a Zappa. He played with Bowie, didn't he? And he was a Zappa guitarist. And I think Zappa knew Bowie was going to sort of steal. Is it Bowie or Bowie? It's Bowie. Is it Bowie? How would you
Bowie, like a knife.
Bowie. I was saying Bowie.
Knife.
Yeah, I was right. It sounded wrong actually. And Zappa was on tour, and Adrian Belew was in his band, and in the same town, David Bowie was there apparently, and he bumped into Zappa, and Bowie made a comment about Adrian Belew, who's obviously probably auditioned for Bowie's band, and Zappa just basically said "fuck you, Captain Tom," and that was the that was the full conversation that came out, and that was from Adrian Belew. Adrian Belew was there at the time when it kind of happened and all went down. So I thought, I better tell you about that. So that's a double drink because it's Frank Zappa and David Bowie as well. So.
And did you see the Kiss meltdown on Twitter?
No.
No.
What's happened?
So we all know Gene Simmons said Prince's death was quote unquote pathetic, but it was kind of misquoted. But he still said
Yeah.
Prince's death was pathetic.
Oh,
Paul
yeah.
Stanley then posted that Gene Simmons is clearly not representing Kiss, and
Oh, brilliant.
his comments are solely his own, but et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and that he's devastated and he's very sorry for anybody who was affected by that. To which Gene Simmons' wife comments with her own tweet. This is like high school, except for all these people are 170.
Yeah.
Shannon Tweed comments with her, "You should stick by your friend." That's how she tweets. "You should stick by your friend. You don't know these sort of things," and blah blah blah. And she's going on and on about why Paul's backstabbing Gene for creating a tweet apologizing for Gene, and to which Paul starts telling her that she doesn't know what she's doing, and then Nikki Sixx from Motley Crue.
What? Motley
Nikki
Crue?
Sixx starts to post about how he's officially considers Gene Simmons no longer a hero after his comments about how people who were depressed should kill themselves, and now they should with Prince. And he's like, now people shouldn't listen to Gene Simmons ever again. To which Paul Stanley began to call Nikki Sixx a poser who isn't talented and needs to get over himself. So it has been the funniest series of these like 175-year-olds yelling at each other on Twitter.
Is this a new high school drama that's on TV? Is that what you're describing to me? That's what it fucking sounds like. That's awful.
Well, the other one going on is that Ozzy Osbourne cheated on Sharon Osbourne.
Really?
I don't think he realized it though.
What recently? It's not something in the past.
No, it just happened. They're getting divorced.
Is he capable of that? That's the thing.
I don't know, but Kelly Osbourne tweeted about it. She wrote, "Anyone looking for cheap, chunky, low lights and blowout and a blowjob, call." And then she gave the number for the woman that slept with her dad.
Yeah. This might be.
Kelly Osbourne.
Do you have that number, Matt? Do you have the number?
I did, because somebody I follow on Twitter retweeted it because they thought it was funny.
Should we phone her? Can we phone her now?
Oh, maybe.
We should do it. It would be funny.
That would be. Well, hello.
It's
Stop calling me! I've got the gun in my mouth! I'm gonna fucking do it! I'm gonna fucking do it, you cunts! I love Ozzy and I didn't mean to! And then you hear the bang, and then you would just sit here with dead air and you'd be like, and that was the coffee jelly hour, guys!
Oh, we'll be back. Oh, cue the music. Yeah, everything's fine. No problem. Oh, no, I didn't even see any of that, actually. That is class.
It is kind of funny, though, because, Ozzy Osbourne, he's... Sharon, I put my dick in this other woman. Hairdresser.
I don't even know how he could actually sort of have an affair with someone else. I don't think he's capable.
I think one of my favorite things ever was when Sharon talked bad about Bruce Dickinson on the Ozfest tour. I mean, Bruce Dickinson's kind of an asshole. This was a few years ago, but he was basically talking about how Iron Maiden is the real deal, and Ozzy Osbourne needed to use a prompter to sing.
Oh, jeez.
And in the middle of Black Sabbath or Iron Maiden's set, Sharon pulled the plug on them in the middle of their show, so they couldn't be heard. And then she came out and she was just like, "Everybody else in Iron Maiden is a bunch of lovely chaps. We've had tea together and I like them. But Bruce Dickinson's a cunt."
Oh, Jesus. It's high school.
Sharon, don't talk about Dickinson.
Oh, it's all just childish bullshit, isn't it?
My son has no talent, and my daughter has no talent. Nobody has talent. Made a good song in quite a while.
Oh, it's.
Why would you in a show, Sharon? We should be working together.
Oh, you know what they need to bring back? They need to bring back the Osbournes reality show right now because
No, they need to bring back the Osbournes variety show.
Variety show.
That was a thing that lasted one episode.
Are you joking me?
The Osbournes variety show.
That's that comedy reel.
Yeah, and it was going to.
No.
You could look at it. It was a thing. It was a thing, and it lasted one episode. And it's like, wow, who the fuck?
Oh my god! It was called 2009. It was called Osbournes Reloaded, and it was a variety show, and aired its only one episode on Fox. The show was hosted by the Osbournes, and premiered Tuesday, 31st May. Blah blah blah. Oh Jesus! The show consisted of sketches, stunts, celebrity cameos, live action audience participation, and live musical acts such as Fall Out Boy. Jesus Christ! Who the fuck? Oh my
it makes me think of that episode of The Simpsons where they shat on the variety acts. They had the Simpsons dressed up as beavers and whatnot. Yeah. Except for this is that, but done for real. This is like legitimately like bring Ozzy Osbourne out dressed as a beaver. Oh, the fucking beavers! It's fucking you go, it's coming down, and it's you're walking down, you fucking it's fucking, you've got the Iron Man, but it's not one of my songs, it's Black Sabbath, but it's just didn't understand it. He's just trying to be like, I'm like, Crazy Train's the one that I wrote.
Did you know Ozzy Osbourne was from Birmingham, and I really like the Birmingham accent. I think I've mentioned this before on this show. I think, really, honestly.
Well, I'm sure Ozzy Osbourne had a great an accent before the drugs.
Before all the drugs and alcohol.
Ozzy did drugs? Wait, whoa.
No, he didn't.
Wait a minute. What?
I don't believe it.
My favorite story was the guys from Motley Crue talking about the first time they met Ozzy Osbourne, and he was sitting in a room, and he was snorting cocaine, and then there was a line of ants going to a popsicle, with which he snorted up the ants right afterwards.
I heard that. Yeah, that's fucking slightly gross. I didn't know he'd done drugs. I just thought he was very, very physically.
You just thought he had like 20 strokes.
Yeah.
Like
yeah, today, the day I was
I thought he was just feeble.
Yeah.
Like at some point after Bark at the Moon, he just had like 30 strokes.
Oh yeah, exactly. Oh jeez. Oh my god.
Bark at the Moon.
He still sings pretty clearly.
Yeah, he does. I know. It's crazy.
He should instead of talking, he should just sing everything. Really, shouldn't he? Let's face it. We could understand him better then if he sang everything.
Yeah,
you know.
It kind of makes me sad that Black Sabbath are calling it quits because the stuff they've been churning out over the past couple of years is actually really good stuff.
They're all 200 years old.
I know they're all 170, but for God's sake, they're doing good stuff. I'm enjoying it.
The amazing thing is though, didn't Tony Iommi have a health scare? No.
Oh yeah, it was. Did he have cancer? I think he did have cancer.
Okay, yeah. I didn't know if it was him or if it was.
No, Tony Iommi it was. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I don't know. Bill Ward, the drummer.
Bill Ward, is no longer with them. He's now doing a radio show.
Who is it?
Bill Ward, the drummer.
Oh. Yeah.
Because I believe he did have a health scare and he couldn't keep up the touring regiment.
Yeah, it was Tony Iommi that had cancer though. Right?
Yeah, he did.
One of the amazing things about him is he doesn't have any fingertips on one of his hands.
He's got those plastic. Yeah. It's actually the hand on the. He's left-handed, isn't he? So it's his right hand on the fretboard, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, because didn't he, when he worked in a factory in Birmingham, didn't he spill all this molten fucking metal or something on his?
No, I think he cut them off.
Oh, did he cut them off? Yeah, it was a machine, wasn't it? It was
when he was a kid.
Yeah.
Well, that's how they got to be so down-tuned, is because he couldn't press the guitar strings as well, so they down-tuned everything so he could play.
Yeah. So
and an interesting factor, the other reason why their sound was so unique was because Geezer Butler couldn't remember past 3 fucking notes. He had trouble remembering stuff, so all their songs pretty much contain the 7-5-6 pattern kind of going.
Yeah.
Which also, my other favorite thing is Geezer Butler, probably one of my all-time favorite bass players by far.
He is awesome.
Perhaps the lamest individual ever when you listen to him talk. Like, he's awesome, but he's just like,
I'm Geezer.
we were listening to it, and it's like, dun, 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 dun. And I was like, that sounds like an Iron Bloke.
Oh, well, that's the thing. You listen to the music and you're like, this is amazing. This is the band who really coined the phrase heavy metal. Didn't they get a really bad review for the first album? And it says, it sounds like heavy metal. And it was kind of like, yep, that's it. And then he's being interviewed. Where did he get the name? Sort of Black Sabbath. And it was like, oh, yeah, well, we were rehearsing and across the road was there's a cinema and that old black and white film was on and it's called Black Sabbath and it was dead evil. It's like, mate, you're not sounding evil or anything really at the moment. Please.
We used to be called Earth.
That's right, yeah. There's loads of old footage, isn't there? Have you seen all that old footage of them? It's all very hippie.
And yeah, he like Bill Ward kind of reads is like your hippie dad. That's kind of how he seems.
Yeah.
Like he's kind of burned out, and he's just kind of like he doesn't quite get it.
Oh yeah, it's great band though. Great band. I did see him about.
I fucking love Black Sabbath, and recently
I saw them live about 10, 12 years ago on their last reunion, and it was with Bill Ward, and it was fucking awesome. And we went to Birmingham to see them. There's a lot of people there with strange accents in Birmingham. I like them all though. Yeah, let me just tell you that. Moving on. I'm gonna get killed by a Birmingham person, aren't I? Please don't kill me. Don't kill me. But yeah, Black Sabbath, fucking cool. Cool band. So Ozzy split up from Sharon. Jesus Christ, this is terrible. Oh no.
I don't know. It's kind of a bad case of the not my business. That's the one that I'm like, not really my thing.
How do you feel about Sharon Osbourne? Do you think she's a great, strong-minded woman, or do you think she's just a pain in the arse? Anybody? I think she's.
I don't know either.
What really? She does annoy me, really. It's
well, apparently, literally, a lot of people in the business say that she was a total cunt whenever they dealt with her. Like people who had to deal with her that said that she is a terrible, awful person.
She was a bit,
doesn't surprise me somehow.
She was a bit of a Yoko, wasn't she? Really, I think.
Yeah, well, like apparently, like the persona you see on TV is not exactly what you get, and apparently, like when dealing with other bands on Ozfest, she's kind of dismissive and shitty towards people, and
exactly.
And that itself is a little.
Yeah, it's shit, isn't it? It's
So let's talk a little bit about soundtracks while we're unhinging here.
Okay.
Because I posed the topic to you guys last night. That like, what are some of your guys' favorite soundtracks? Because lately I've just been rocking a lot of OST music.
So we
original soundtrack.
Yeah. Hashtag OST. So we're talking about movie and video game soundtracks.
Yes.
Are we?
Yes, we are.
Shall I start?
Yeah, you start off with one. Throw it out.
Okay, it's a Stephen King movie based on a Stephen King book, The Shining. I do like the soundtrack to The Shining, scored by Wendy Carlos, who used to be a bloke, if I'm not much mistaken. Is that correct? I think it was. Yeah, I'm not sure, but that soundtrack just puts me on edge, and I do like it. And I've got a big long list of things. Shall I just go through all the ones I like?
Oh no, because we'll take turns throwing them out there. But I'm sorry, because I actually don't remember much of the Shining soundtrack, which might be to its strength.
Well, no, that's the thing. If you said, okay, sort of hum a piece of music, or I'd probably go, I don't remember. But when you're watching a film, the whole thing is so unsettling, and it's the music that really, really gives it the edge. And I do feel very spooked out by it, kind of thing. And I do love that. It's just and a lot of them are just not really sound effects, but there's a lot of sort of like kettle drums and down-tuned drums and stuff like that in there, which really sound fucked up and weird, which kind of really does make it really. So I like that one. Go on, Ace. You hit me.
Let's hit Matt. Matt, what do you got?
Okay.
Well, it's kind of like what Tony was saying, where like I don't really listen to soundtrack music without the movie around it, because that's kind of what the music is for. So actually, The Dark Knight, the score Hans Zimmer did for The Dark Knight is really amazing. It's really good. And when you watch the movie, you're very aware of it, and that actually is one I have listened to without the
On its own,
without
yeah.
the movie around it, because it is really good. Hans Zimmer is a really good composer.
Hans Zimmer is awesome. The amount of stuff he's scored.
Yep.
In fact, he's scored one of my favorite movie soundtracks, Black Hawk Down. Black Hawk Down. It's the first time I watched Black Hawk Down, I was like, wow, this is great. So are these like loads of different sort of African bands, on the soundtrack? And it turns out it was kind of Hans Zimmer and a handful of his sort of musician friends, colleagues, creating all this music. And then they got Lisa Gerrard in from Dead Can Dance as well to do stuff. And on the actual movie soundtrack, there's a Faith No More song as well, which I love Faith No More. I was like, this is fucking amazing. So that is my favourite soundtrack. And that, to be honest, like Matt's just said, a lot of the soundtracks I can't listen to them without the movie, really, because it's like, yeah, they're okay on their own, I guess. I don't really like to do that. But
say my entire list I've listened to about 1 million times, even more than seeing the film. So
I was gonna say Black Hawk Down is the soundtrack I just listen to without the music, because those, I mean, the more sort of songs than sort of pieces of music, they're just fucking awesome. It's just so different, and it's kind of like a collection of world music, basically. So
I want to double back a little bit on the Dark Knight, because I was thinking, is the Dark Knight the last time? Well, Dark Knight Rises. Is that the last time there was really a theme for a superhero movie? Because it seems like now they're all just using sort of generic stock music.
I kind of agree with that. Although, no, Hans Zimmer and Junkie XL did Batman v Superman together, and
really?
Actually, on that soundtrack, the Wonder Woman specific, what the hell is the name of the actual track? It's freaking great.
Is it really good? It is a proper superhero theme. I haven't heard.
Oh, it's great. Actually, yeah, that whole soundtrack is actually really good, and like I said, it's a combination of Hans Zimmer and Junkie XL.
Wow.
That's actually another. Even though I didn't like the movie like at all, the soundtrack's actually pretty good. So.
And maybe that is something that we can give the consent to DC. I think DC might have the better soundtracks.
Yeah.
Because when I come to think of it, nothing
very generic, just their kind of music.
Yeah. All right. So my list isn't in a particular order, so this isn't prioritized. But the first one I wrote down was Suspiria by Goblin, which is a Dario Argento horror film.
Yeah, I know the soundtrack. I like the soundtrack.
I love that soundtrack. The wails, the banging on drums, the howls, the untuned instruments. Christ, that is a brilliant soundtrack. And a brilliant horror film at that. And apparently, one of the few times I feel sacrilegious, apparently there is a Hot Topic remake being made of it, and that makes me sad. They're going, as they were talking about, they wanted to go for a PG-13 rating, and they really wanted to try to sell it to the goth girl demographic, and that breaks my heart. That they're making a cynical remake of such a fucking great film.
That's going to be fucking awful. It's yeah.
It's one of the few times where right off the beginning I'm like, no, everything you're saying there is a recipe for shit.
Yeah, that sounds fucking awful, really. But I agree with the Goblin soundtrack. That's fucking class soundtrack.
Number two for you, Tony.
Number 2 for me, I guess. Well, anything by Trent Reznor. Really, it's Social. What the fuck was it called? Social Network.
Social Network.
Yeah.
The Gone Girl soundtrack.
Gone Girl as well. You know what? Every single Trent Reznor soundtrack, I listen to it, and it's just minimal perfection, and I just think, I so want to be him, basically, when I listen to his soundtracks. So simple and so effective. It's just amazing. I mean, you listen to other soundtracks and it's like, wow, there's so much going on. There's full orchestra, there's this, that, and the other, and it's creating all this sort of emotion. And you go to a Trent Reznor soundtrack and you're like, wow, there's about 2 or 3 instruments, and it's creating
like a strumming
just as much. Yeah, it's just amazing. I just love his work. It's every time I hear. In fact, his soundtracks I do listen to without the movie as well. I can listen to them, and that's just brilliant music. These guys are genius. So That's not a movie. That's just a whole fucking shit ton of movies. And obviously Nine Inch Nails as well. Again, I listen to Nine Inch Nails and go, oh, why didn't I think of that? Why didn't I think of that? That's just like, I mean, a lot of the stuff, it's so simple and so effective, and it's kind of like, damn.
The Downward Spiral is one of my favorite albums
That
ever.
is such,
Like, it's so good.
a good album.
Oh god, that's a good album.
Yeah, no, you're right. It's just it's amazing. Yeah, I want to be Trent Reznor. There we go. So go on, Matt. Anything else you?
John Williams. I mean, anything. Pick a John Williams score, and I'm
gonna pick Star Wars.
I mean, Star Wars, Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Superman. That's just John Williams. God, he's good.
That is a composer who really gets the theme and the spirit of the movies. Basically, it's just amazing. Yeah, they are good. He is. Well, yeah.
And he's another one that him and Hans Zimmer are two that I actually can listen to without the movie around.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like John Carpenter. The scores for his movies are really good when you're watching a John Carpenter movie. But
when you
if
see the
listen
visuals.
to John Carpenter, right? And when you're listening to a John Carpenter soundtrack without it, it's like, well, there's not much there.
Yeah. There is.
John Williams is like this is really a score.
So
it's all together. Yeah. They're complete, beautiful pieces of music.
You're right. Yeah, absolutely wonderful. Ace.
All right, number 2 on my list is a video game, Hotline Miami 2.
Oh, I've never played it.
Perhaps, okay, so imagine the excess of the 80s, the heavy synths, the sort of proto-industrial.
Okay.
And feed that acid, and that's the soundtrack to Hotline Miami. It's just this ravaging, amazing synth.
Wow. I'll have to check that out. I've never. I know of the game. I don't know the soundtrack or anything like that.
It's an incredible. Hotline Miami 2 specifically has some of the best tracks, and it definitely runs a gamut. There are slow songs, but there are some songs that are just so pumping, and in no way, it's not dubstep, it's not techno, it literally is synth rock. They're playing their synths as you would play in an 80s band.
Cool.
Because the aesthetic of the game is that it's kind of like an 80s movie, so they try to keep. All right, number 3 for you, Tony.
Number 3 for me. I'm gonna go video game, and one of my favorite video game soundtracks was Final Fantasy VII. I actually fucking love that game, and I've got that on. I've got the soundtrack on CD, and I do like it. It's just fucking wonderful. There's some great stuff in there. I can't even remember who fucking wrote it out. You're there. You're so there. There's so many cool things in there. It's just like. I keep thinking, you know what? I should get some of these as ringtones on my phone, but I never do. But I love the game, and I love the I just love the soundtrack. In fact, I'm going to listen to it again soon. I need to listen to it. I'm going to listen to it now. Bye. Bye. Go on, Matt. Hit me with another one.
All right, my next one is a little odd, but the movie itself is a musical, and it's Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog.
Oh yeah.
It's everything in it is just catchy and great. And I love Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog.
It's Neil Patrick Harris, isn't it?
Yeah. Neil Patrick Harris, Nathan Fillion, Felicia Day.
Oh yeah. Oh, you know what? I think is that like it is a TV series, isn't it?
No, it was a movie.
A web series. Was it a movie, is it?
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what it was. I'm sure I saw like a 20-minute sort of version of it. So I don't know what it was. But
it's fairly short because it was a web. Yeah. It was a web released movie that they did when the writers' strike was going on.
Right. Got it. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
I need to check that out.
The interesting gimmick is it also has commentary, the musical.
Commentary. Oh, right. Okay.
As a feature on the DVD, you could play commentary.
Really? I have the DVD. I guess I've just never watched the.
Wicked. Oh no, I need to watch it.
It's not great, but I'm happy it exists.
Really? Yeah. I need to check that out. That sounds Yeah, I'm gonna put that on my list. I'm putting it on my list right now. Definitely. Go on, Ace.
So
All right.
Hit
My number 3, and I'm gonna play the same game you guys played. For me, it's any Silent Hill soundtrack. Virtually all of them
Ooh,
have
that was on my
so much
list.
stuff.
You know
But
what?
I couldn't
Yeah.
pick
You
one,
haven't picked
and that
one
was
out.
my big
No, no.
problem because I thought about it. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, well, this one, obviously the first one has a lot of midis and it's a lot more subdued, and the
Yeah.
second one is much more trip hop, and then the third one is much
Yeah.
more industrial. And I'm like, okay, anything that Akira, and I can't pronounce his last name, it's like Akira
Yeah.
Yamaoka or whatever.
Yeah. Akira
Anything-
Jones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, Akira Do, Scooby Doo's
Yeah.
other cousin. Anything that
Yeah.
man performs
Oriental cousin. Yeah.
is just fantastic. So that's my number 3.
You know what? I actually put Silent Hill, the PS1 version, on my list there because I just remember playing that game in the dark and being really spooked out by the visuals and by the soundtrack. It really does fucking put you on edge. It's way good. Yeah, I agree. That's really good. I'm gonna hit you with another video game, and this one is quite a random old one. There was an old video game on the Atari 8-bit computers, on the Atari 800, called Ball Blazer, and it was like a 3D. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Like a 3D, I guess, sort of football game, but you're in these like little sort of vehicles, and you've got to grab the ball and score goal at the other end. But the programmer who wrote it was a musician. I think he was a blues musician actually, and he wrote this sort of music engine which played the theme tune, and there was like an algorithm which basically picked out random bass, drum, and sort of lead instruments, and if you leave the music playing, it would go on forever and it never repeat itself, and it's just fucking this amazing funky blues soundtrack, and it's well worth checking out. Just check it on YouTube, Ballblazer, for the music, and it's just like, this is amazing. And for like I don't know how many K it was written in. Would it be 16K or 48K? And it's got this random music generator in it, and it's just like, this is fucking awesome. So that was a soundtrack back in when was it, 1984, I think that was out, which was kind of way ahead of its time. And I remember, I did have an Atari computer, and me and my friends used to just like load this game up. It used to take about 20 minutes to load on tape, and we'd just leave the music on because it was so cool and funky, and it'd just do its own thing and just carry on forever, and it was fucking well worth checking out. So I'm a geek, yeah, I know. So go on, Matt, have you got anything else? I'll stop being geeky.
I don't know if I do off the top of my head. I didn't write anything down. I was trying to think of what I actually listened to outside of the film, and it's not a lot, like I said.
Well, I mean, are there any particular ones that you could recall that left an impact on you? Like where the music was a big deal?
You know what? Soundtrack really...
The only other thing I can think of that's actually fairly recent that had a really good score was Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet, actually.
Oh, it was
I need to
good.
watch that movie. I really need to watch that.
It has a really good score. It's got a lot of like really pounding tribal type drums. It's got one character in it whose job is to ride on a giant truck of speakers and play electric guitar. So
and that was the guy from Rammstein.
Mm-hmm.
Was it the singer?
Yeah. No, not the singer. It's the guitar player.
Which one?
Because he's the one who built the tech for firing the flame guitar. Because he's an experienced guitar technician.
Oh.
Yeah. And that was actually another Junkie XL soundtrack. Actually, he did all that, so.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm going to IMDb this right now. This is. I really need to watch this movie now. I need to watch it anyway. Yeah.
My number 4, Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh,
Perhaps set in my love of the Danny Elfman score.
I was going to say it's an Elfman score, isn't it? Yeah.
And Elfman being kind of new to the business of creating scores was perfect for that film. Because the way it kind of goes from major, minor, and it just kind of goes all over the fucking place.
Oh,
and it's something that you wouldn't see the big guys do at the time.
Yeah.
So it was Danny Elfman being an outsider and being fucking awesome at it.
Oh yeah, I love that. I love that movie.
Yeah. Plus on that soundtrack there's tequila. So. Got
it. Yeah,
True.
yeah. There
Same
is.
with the-
I was thinking of the drink. I was like, really, tequila? I don't know. I don't understand.
Tequila.
No. Yeah, tequila.
That's also in the
Sandler
soundtrack too.
Yeah. Oh, I need to watch that movie again. Actually, I need to.
All right, your number 5, Tony.
My number 5, the soundtrack to the independent horror film It Follows. I don't know if you
I've heard that was a good soundtrack. I haven't seen the movie
That's
though.
an amazing soundtrack.
So good and so different, and it's just one of those non-typical sort of soundtracks that was just so surprising.
They went full John Carpenter on it, and it made movie so great.
There was all these like really sort of fat synths and stuff like that, which really worked so well. I was like, wow, fucking hell, that is amazing. So I do like that. I do like that. It's a great movie as well. That movie's. Have you seen it?
Yeah. No, I still haven't seen it.
Oh, it's good.
But...
Yeah, it's a fascinating movie. It is well done. You just gotta let it take hold of you, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. You've got to lose yourself in it, and it's a great idea, and it really is quite freaky in places, and the music is just sort of it is just amazing. It's different. I think I like it because it's different. It's not your typical sort of crappy one. And then to be honest, there's a similar soundtrack to that. It's a different composer. On the science fiction movie The Signal as well, but it's kind of like in a sort of similar style, and that one's again completely different, and I'm trying to think who the hell fucking scored that one, but I like different. I mean, you were saying to Matt before, Ace, about what sort of soundtrack really left an impression on you. I remember watching David Lynch's Eraserhead, and it's got all that industrial weirdness behind everything, and that.
Oh, I mean, I still think that we should cover In Heaven with Captain Creep.
It's just amazing. It's just like, wow, this is great, and this really makes me feel uneasy. It's just watching the movie, just thinking, holy crap, this is. I just like anything that's different and weird. Basically, it's it is cool. Soundtracks rock, really, don't they? Have you seen what the time is? We've just fucking gone on for fucking so long.
Yeah.
It is quite late. So we just should we do some fan fiction now, or have you got anything else?
Because I am dying. Let's just kill off this list and we'll do fan fiction full time next week. Because we also haven't quite divided the characters yet, so we're.
All right. Okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. Is there any other soundtracks you've got?
I've got plenty.
So you've probably got. Go on. Hit us with a couple.
I did a full 10.
Yeah.
So my number 5 was The Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask.
Oh
which is by far the best Nintendo composing ever.
Yeah.
It is a chilling soundtrack.
That is and a great game as well.
Oh, wonderful game.
I haven't completed. Oh shit! I need to get back to that. Really need to get back to that game. That's That's so many games I need to get back to. Sorry. Go.
Number six is a slash dash between 2 movies because I typically run these 2 soundtracks together, and that is The Thing, John Carpenter, and Halloween 3, John Carpenter. Which I tend to listen to those soundtracks beside each other. I almost don't. Although the movies are very separate, the soundtracks work well together.
Halloween 3 is the Silver Shamrock.
Yeah. Yes. But it also has a lot of really jarring synth, and it has a lot of just a lot of like beeping noises, and it's a fascinating soundtrack.
To be honest, that Silver Shamrock ditty, that's kind of freaky and sticks in your mind. It's kind of like another little song that I know, which kind of starts off, it's a world of laughter, a world of tears, it's a world of hopes, and a world of fears. There's so much that we share that it's time we're aware. It's a small world after all. That's for Matt. Matt, it is a small world after all.
No, but now you're talking about my nemesis.
Small world after all. It's a small world after all. But just
You
remember,
have no idea.
there
You
is
have no idea.
there is just one moon and one golden sun, and a smile means friendship to everyone. Though the mountains divide and the oceans are wide, it's a small world after all.
It's weird to
I'll
have the
stop. I'll
lyrics.
shut the fuck up now.
It's weird to have the lyrics recited. Like it almost doesn't.
Yeah.
It sounds like a completely. It sounds like bad poetry.
In
fact, I heard that today because I was coming out of the gym, and over all the sounds of the traffic and everything, I heard
Could
that.
you know what?
That damn
video,
ice cream truck.
that video is hilarious. But you know what? The doorbell for our house, it plays like something like 7 different tunes, but I've set it to It's a Small World. Just because, well, firstly, we love Disney parks.
Right.
And secondly, it's a really irritating tune, and it kind of appeals to me to actually have that when everyone comes to the door. So we kind of answer the door a little bit like angry because of that doorbell. Like he's like, yeah, what do you want, kind of thing. It's it's a fucking irritate. It's like Silver Shamrock, isn't it? Really, sort of. It's a small world.
Pretty much.
So I know what you mean. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I just wanted to wind you up with that. I like your video anyway, Matt. That was cool. Can you post more videos? Because you need to do a series now, following your nemesis until his eventual demise.
Yeah, I don't know. The weird thing about this guy is he's got to be on drugs. I can't imagine sitting in that truck all day listening to that same thing over and over. Because it doesn't play any of it, and it's just
Wow.
And it's loud. It's really like ear-splittingly loud.
He will either be on drugs or he'll be just totally insane, maybe.
Exactly.
He's
either high or insane.
You do a series, you've got to keep following him, and eventually you've got to go and buy ice cream from him, stuff like that.
I probably will at some point.
It's going to be great, honestly. It's going to go viral, this, I'll tell you. I'm liking it. It's really good. Sorry, Ace, go back to your Halloween and the Thing. Good soundtrack.
Oh, okay, yeah. Next one on my list is A Clockwork Orange.
Oh yeah. I can't really remember the soundtrack to that at all.
I can't.
A lot of classical music.
It's all Beethoven, but it's all played like on synth. I have a thing for synth.
Yeah. I know. Yeah,
I'm noticing a pattern.
Yeah.
Next up on my list is another classic horror movie, Candyman, with the soundtrack by Philip Glass.
Yeah. That's. You know what? I love that movie. I do actually like that movie.
And the soundtrack is wonderful.
I can't remember it, but I need to. It obviously worked because the movie is a great movie. So I need to watch that one again.
Next up is The Elephant Man.
Oh wow, David Lynch.
And the soundtrack is one of my favorites because it has this really disturbed carnival sound going throughout it.
Yeah.
It has a lot. It has a lot of what is it? Calliope. I can't pronounce it. It has a lot of organ and
I know what you mean.
Yeah, calliope. Thank you.
Calliope.
It's a word that I've always seen spelled.
I know,
but I've never heard it said.
Calliope. It's that.
So I'm like, I don't know how to say that. I've only read it.
Yeah. It's it is like a dark, twisted carnival.
Yeah, and I love that sound.
Yeah.
And the last one on my official list is Sling Blade. That has one of the best soundtracks I've ever fucking heard.
Get some French fried potatoes.
Sling Blade. What?
Sling Blade.
Just remind me what that is. Who's in it?
Billy Bob Thornton.
Oh fuck! You know what? I don't think we spoke about this before, and I still don't think I've seen it actually.
The soundtrack basically has a lot of it has a lot of synth. It has a lot of twangy guitars, and it has a lot of moaning and sighs.
Wow, that's I'm adding these to my list of things that I need to watch. Really,
I've created a list of honorable mentions. These are ones that I'm not going to elaborate on.
Yeah, go on.
Bronson.
Okay.
Just a great soundtrack. Jesus Christ Superstar.
Gee, yeah. You were speaking about that online, weren't you?
Fucking love that movie.
Yeah.
Repo, the genetic opera.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that is great. Yeah.
Rocky Horror Picture Show. See, I didn't want to include it.
I was surprised.
I felt a little cheaty. That's the only reason why I didn't include it. I'm like, these are.
Is that the original movie, or is it the remake? No, I'm only joking.
How'd you do, You've met my.
Oh, they got fucking Adam Lambert to play fucking Meatloaf.
Yep.
That pisses me off. They should have got goddamn Jack Black.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The person, it does actually bother me a little bit because I always like the idea that Eddie was a fat guy and he wasn't a joke. Like he was actually a sexualized fat guy. I thought that was a neat character trait. Oh well. Whatever.
Cool. Oh, well.
Adam Lambert.
Whatever. Let's see what happens.
Okay, next up, 28 Days Later. A really good soundtrack. Really good soundtrack.
Yeah, you're right. It's that is good.
The Assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford.
Jeez. Right, okay.
Soundtracks by Nick Cave and Warren Ellis.
Wow.
Fucking brilliant.
Wow, cool.
Super Mario Galaxy?
Wow, yeah, okay. Yeah.
And the reason, I said I would give reasons. The reason why it's there is because basically it's just remakes of all the Mario stuff with an orchestra.
Wow, that's
cool.
Brilliant.
And that's why I really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just cool to hear that old stuff played like with full orchestra. And
Wow.
on the bottom of my list is The Lost Highway and Natural Born Killers.
Brilliant. Lost Highway. Is there a Trent Reznor song in there, or did Trent Reznor?
Well, Trent Reznor did both of those soundtracks. They were his first two.
Oh, right, yeah. I knew he had something, but I can't remember what he'd done, actually, yeah. Oh, wow. Cool. Trent Reznor. God. Definitely. Oh, that's a good list. There's one more on my list, which is a really, really random one. It's a video game by Jeff Minter called Tempest 2000. I can't even fucking say it. Tempest 2000, an update of the old Tempest video game. And it just had an awesome dance soundtrack to it, and the game itself is just so, the visuals were just like so trippy and psychedelic, and the music, it was like you were at a fucking rave. It was amazing. So you played it in a dark room for a couple of hours. After you'd played it, you'd walk out into sort of daylight, and you could still see the visuals, and you still felt like you were there. And it was just, it worked perfectly with this dance music. And I actually bought you can buy the album as well, the soundtrack album of the video game on CD, and I've got that as well. I've got a nice collection of different. In fact, just going back to video game soundtracks, I've got the first Silent Hill soundtrack on CD as well. Actually, I bought that.
I am guilty of having all of those on soundtrack as well. Yeah.
And the Final Fantasy VII as well, I've got, which is great. So I do like collecting them because I'm such a fucking geek. They're a good list of soundtracks. Yeah, that's cool. And you've just given me more movies to watch.
There you go.
Which is good. So I'm not going to sleep tonight. I'm just going to watch movies all night. I have so many movies to watch, really. So that's good. So we're going to leave fan fiction until next time, shall we?
Yeah.
We'll do a full episode of fan fiction.
That sounds good. Next episode, full episode. So I guess before we go, I guess we need to remember something, don't we? What was it we're going to remember?
As far as I know.
Yeah, if it looks like magic, it's not magic. It's science. So deal with it. So we're off now. So thanks to Matt. Thanks to Matt and thanks to Ace.
Thank you.
We'll see you all soon. Keep following your nemesis, Matt, because I want to see.
I will.
I want to see bloodshed on your videos. Yeah, it's going to be good. Keep playing the bass, Ace, and keep masturbating, Tony. Oh no, wait a minute, I'm not masturbating. Okay, guys, we're going now. We'll see you again soon. Goodbye. Take care. Bye.